Hey everybody. So let's do a quick update on Bitcoin. I know I've been out for the past few weeks because there was literally nothing happening, and we were trading in this kind of weird side range, and that's been kind of waiting on see what Federal Reserve wants to do. Now they kind of highlighted that they want to do only one interest rate cut, which I think ultimately they're going to do end up doing more. That's just always the case, especially when it's an election year. So what's been happening lately is that we were trading in this kind of weird side range, and there was nothing really happening until now. We have this huge candle to the downside, which was expected because when S&P goes down, so does the all the risk assets. That's including Bitcoin, which is the highest risk asset currently. So I'm not really worried right now at this current downside action that we're seeing right now. We do have this trend line that's been in place. If we look at a daily chart, we have trend line that's been in place since the June of 2023. And if you also look at the money flow index, we're kind of bottoming. So this was the same action that we saw back in roughly around that June, August of 2023. So we're pretty much hitting that bottom edge, and that's usually when money would come back in. And the other thing to pay attention to, that's not always the case though. It's one of those things that you have to watch. It's one of the arrow in our quiver, and then you just kind of watch what you want to do. And so this has been also a trend line that we have rejected from before, and it has also served as a support previously multiple times. So what you want to watch out for is watch out for this range exactly. And now when you have a high beta asset like Bitcoin, you would have huge candle wicks to the bottom, and that shouldn't really freak you out because we see that kind of action either to the top or the bottom. So just kind of watch that zone. One thing also to pay attention to, I've highlighted here for you guys, is watch this order block. This order block is we have orders anywhere from 56,500 to 58,800. So watch this order block window, and that would be kind of the zone that if you wanted to add and you were a long-term buyer, and that's kind of the zone to add to. And if it flushes that zone, then the next area to pay attention to would be roughly around that 52,000 area. That's if it breaks that 56,000. Now remember, that's your bottom range. Those are all fairly reasonable areas to add to. And then we'll also kind of look at what are some of the other cryptos that you've been watching experiencing now. Remember, whatever Bitcoin experiences, all of these like altcoins will experience the same exact thing, just magnified, right? So we have this huge support zone for AVAX, and we're currently actually right up against that. So I would not be surprised if we touch down that 22, 23 area. That would be a really nice buy zone. Now, remember, this has been a really long, protracted decline, 64% from the bottom, from the top, actually. And it's not surprising because we've seen this kind of action before, right? If we have seen this kind of action with crypto where we have like 50, 60% downside. And you also, one also thing to pay attention to is that whenever you see this kind of head and shoulder movement, right? We are bound to kind of test the bottom of that range. So I would not be surprised if we touch that 2021, 22 area and then nicely bounce off of that. That'd be a really nice risk to reward ratio. And let's take a look at Solana. Solana has been relatively strong. We haven't had the same kind of downside move that we've seen in Avalanche. Solana has seen approximately 40%. So it's, fares well in comparison. And now there's huge order blocks right here, which is what I would expect as well, because that 120 to 126 area has served as support. Now remember, if that does break that support, which it looks like it might, then we're kind of looking at a worst case scenario of that $78. Now $78, we have traded in that range before, right? And it has served as a resistance, and then have served as a really nice support, and we bounced off of that. So this zone right here that we're in has served as a really nice support. But if it does break, remember, if Bitcoin breaks these guys will break as well. So keep an eye on that. If you guys wanted me to take a look at another specific chart, please comment below and I'll do my best to get to that. All right. Thanks, everybody.